Good evening. What do you think about the current status of the nation? Joining us in the panel tonight is Mburu Precious and Isaac Otieno, who will be taking us through political, economic and social affairs of the nation on Web Talk here on Aditech TV. Stay tuned. Now I'll be beginning from my father's hand. Isaac, how is the government doing in leading the country honestly and fairly?
Yes, I'm glad to be at Aditech TV. I'm Isaac Otieno and a politician analyst. So if you go and if you look deeply on the affairs and how the government is leading the citizen, like up to this time, I can say the government is trying their best to provide like an outstanding, like giving the citizen, like the youths, like when the housing is being created in a in a county, then the youth around there, like they give them the opportunity like to have that income. So the government as per now and the doings of the government and how the government is leading the country, I can say it is at a point they are making a step. Yeah, so up to this time, President William Ruto, we can say we've given him a motisha, like there's something, is doing something good up to this time, as per my take. Thank you.
Has the devolution really helped in bringing services closer to the people? Back to you, Precious.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you for hosting me here on Aditech TV. Talking about devolution, yes, the whole aim of devolution is having to handle these powers to people, to counties, so that the common mwananchi can get better facilities, better healthcare, and better services that are essential to the common mwananchi. Now, these powers that have been given to the county governments, yes, it has gone a long way in helping the common mwananchi get the essential services. But to a point, is the question of is there trust? Because you find when it comes to healthcare, yes, we have seen vaccination programs, we have seen people getting free tests, we have seen people accessing healthcare, but not in all areas of the country. We have seen bursaries working, we have seen what are they called? This common, the common services, not that we know about, but there's a question of trust. And in most countries, we find that these services are not really given to them. Where are the funds going? Devolution is good. The motivation and the motive behind it is okay. Where we are trying to reach out to the people uko chini, that is the aim of the devolution. But the question comes of, what are we doing in those places where instead of devolution helping the people, it comes to ni kufinyilia mwananchi, haimpe yale yote ambayo anahitaji kupata. We have seen the case where in Kitui, was it last year, where people wanakuwa beaten with snakes, but before they access health facilities, it takes a long time. But funds are being allocated to these counties. Where are they going? So in as much as it has helped some counties, in some counties there's that issue of where are the funds? Can we trust our county governments to continue well from their own?
Okay. About the current IEBC nomination, or do you have anything to add on what Precious has said?
So before we go to the IEBC nominations, I can just add something of what Precious has said about the devolution. The national government is trying as much as to take the resources back to the community through the county government and the constituency. But then, inside the constituency and the county government, there are some cartels. Like I can say, it's all about corruption. So as much as the national government is trying to provide the equipment to the county, then inside the county, we have to evaluate each other. So that we can bring that better life to the community. So, national government with the devolution, trying to push the resources back down there, then they have to find those people that are trustable. The trustable people will only be there if the community as a whole is involved. Not the county government or the constituency government works out, like takes the whole of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we continue, I'd like to pose a question to Isaac. You've talked about evaluation. You've talked about being accountable. To whom exactly do these people be? Wapali wanafaa kuwa accountable to? Is there ni kwa the local mwananchi ama ni kwa the government itself? Because at what point are we going to evaluate the county governments and say, these are the funds, where are they being taken to? As in, when you talk about evaluation and accountability, to whom are they going to be accountable and who exactly has to yeah.
So if we talk about a government, so far, the government entails of the national and the county. We can't say that the county government and the national government are separate.
Yeah.
They run at one race.
Yeah.
It's only that the national government has the higher lead than the county government. So to my point, what I was trying to figure out, what I was trying to say is, at the community level, like the national government, if needed that much, like needed the resources to reach the common mwananchi down there, like it can organize like a committee through which, if the resources, like monitoring how the resources are like taking a part in the back there at the ward level, just in the community.
Okay.
But there, the national government give a mandate to the county government to monitor what is taking place right there. So at my take was only that at a point, the national government can have some representative. If I bring the issue of a representative, then I'll be out. But then, to my take, it's only that the national government should just consider the people by involving a group or a sample of the minority down there into the issue.
Okay. Panel will come up with names. And once we have come up with names and forwarded the names to the president, 9 names for members and 2 names for the position of chair, our responsibility ends there. The names that the president chooses, 1 for chair and 6 for members of the commission, as they are approved by parliament, they shall become commissioners, and their conduct and their action starts there. They take responsibility. About 6 names, I've spoken to the 6 names. 6 names were not sneaked in. It is our role and responsibility as a selection panel to shortlist. It's not the role of media, it's not the role of anybody else. So the panel exercised its duty and its responsibility to shortlist. Anybody can face us and challenge us. They can go to court if they so wish, because Kenya is a democratic country.
Of the IEBC members.
Okay. IEBC has had a lot of controversies since last year. I think it was since especially last year, where Gen Zs have been demanding for accountability. So it has been an issue of so much controversies. Well, I've been looking through the internet, and there's different views, different feelings of the same. People are high running with emotions, and I think so far, considering how the government or the country has been since last year, I think most people are losing trust. They're losing trust, and they feel like the president, the current sitting president right now, having to choose that commission, they feel like he's doing it to his own benefit. And I think it all goes back to the losing of trust on our president. So most Kenyans have lost their trust first in the president. And so when it comes to the IEBC commission or the IEBC committee, they also have no trust, because they think that this is to the benefit of the president. So the IEBC, for me, the people have been chosen. Yes, they have qualities. They are neutral because they are not politicians. They don't vie for anything. They are not hooked up to any political organization or alliance. And so we can say they are viable for that position. But the question is, do Kenyans trust them? It's because of the loss of trust in their own president who has chosen that committee.
That brings us to the next question. Do you think the IEBC can run fair election coming 2027?
But then before we go to the how we think about IBC running the fair election of next.
Mhm.
I have a point towards on the point of Precious. Yeah.
Mhm.
If we look into the people that have been nominated to present the IBC committee, we can see some balance. Like we can see they have included all the provinces like across the country. Yeah, we can see it's not that it comes from a segment like taking a one direction. And then if you look deep into it again, we can find that IBC commissioners, like the chairperson that have been nominated, we cannot say that it's already there, but it's just been nominated. We don't know whether the Parliament and the National Assembly will give them that right to become the IBC committee. But then, if you look the qualification that the chair has, we can say we can expect something good from them. So according to my take, like how I think, the IBC and the people who have nominated the IBC committee, this time, they have a take, and we can have future. We just hope the best. That's thing.
But let me just add on that. The IEBC can run fair elections. I mean, that is what they are mandated to do. But that is what to expect from them. They can run the fair elections. It's just for them to stand up and take up the position they are supposed to do. Yeah.
And do you think the government have too much power over court and other government offices?
Okay, if you look deep into what what you are asking, in Kenya we know we have a democracy. Like as Kenyans, we have view over everything. Like the citizen must be involved in every take. So if we say if we take the look of saying that the government have power over the people, it doesn't make. We can relate with the bills or the bill that wanted to be passed before. We see the agencies entering into it that make it to be cut off. So Kenya being a democratic country, we can't say that the government has that power over everything. It is the citizen that monitors everything. If they see what is going to happen might not bring something or might not bring their future, cannot put their future somewhere, then they have to defile it. So the government is only to make suggestions or make views, then bring to the people. If the people are not contented with what has been brought on it, then they cut it short.
What's your take about that, Precious?
Okay. I'd like to say that, let me just use the example that he has just used concerning the Gen Z protest last year. Now, politicians, they're called to serve the people, not to impose things on the people. Okay. So, in that case, the people were crying, they were voicing out what they wanted. You see, but okay, and we understand that the same the same MPs, they have the mandate to legislate, you see, and they legislate according to know what they know is right or wrong. But what are the people saying? They're there for the people. And you find that the question is, do they use that power to propagate what they think is right for themselves or right for their political parties at that time, you get? So I think when it comes to powers, I would say that there's a sense of entitlement. Okay. There's a sense of entitlement because of the positions they hold. They feel like they're entitled to do what they want. You see, not on every person. We can pin that on every politician, but there's that point of sense of entitlement where government offices, someone is in a position of maybe of a governor, but we don't see anything running, but we just hear funds are coming, but nothing is changing. Our counties are just, they're still, they're not clean, they are dirty, children are not getting bursaries, healthcare is still in a mess in those county governments. There's that sense of entitlement that is in the politicians, some politicians, not every politician. So when we talk about too much power, I would like to say that it is a sense of entitlement where they feel they have the right to do anything because they own that position.
A big project between the government and the private company helping ordinary citizens in Kenya.
Okay, if you talk about the government, like the companies in Kenya, we can say most of the companies that are based in Kenya are for the investors from outside, but they're partnership with the government. So linking the companies of the investors and the companies that are pre-existed in Kenya, we can see it's making a difference. Because when the investors arrives in Kenya, then build the companies, it is the Kenyans that are being employed. Like, not much, but a sample must be Kenyans. So when a Kenyan is employed in a company, automatically, he or she must earn a living. So, as per the tech, is that Kenyans, in a way, are becoming a beneficiary of the companies that are inside. So if you let the private companies and the public like assess the standard of the people in our country, the level of the debts have been there and they will still be there.
Do you feel that it's risky that Kenya is borrowing a lot of money from outside?
Yeah, it is risky